Well, what is typically a police training room at Blaine City Hall has been converted to an emergency operations center since the COVID-19 outbreak. The space helped the city prepare for the pandemic, but it could also be a place for the city to respond to natural disasters or other emergencies. Danica Peterson has the story.
The Emergency Operations Center at the Blaine Police Department helps respond to incidents, any incident that might require a larger than average response.
And in here, we have the ability to think about planning for the future, logistics, and just making sure that we can maintain operations.
The room is simple enough. Different stations are set up for people with different specialties. These stations contain the supplies someone might need to do their job, from Post-its and staplers to software with detailed maps of the city.
A year and a half, we've had this emergency operations software that unfortunately we've had to test. It's worked exactly how we wanted it to, but with COVID-19, we've had to put it to its test.
The city has had the software for a year and a half, the same amount of time that Captain Pelkey has served as the emergency management director. The center itself doesn't always fill this room, but the software can be accessed from anywhere. Once an incident is underway, this room quickly gets set up, as it did at the outbreak of COVID.
Well, there's a lot of planning. We need to make sure at the onset that, can the city still provide its basic services to the citizens? We need to make sure that we can still provide clean water. And what were we going to do if our primary vendor couldn't give us the chemicals we needed? So in this situation, the EOC was thinking of those planning phases. What are we going to do to make sure that, our water treatment operators can come in and still make sure the water is clean? Really working on our logistics. How are we going to get those type of things we need for our first responders and the rest of City Hall, such as our masks? How are we going to get our face shields, our hand cleaners, and stuff like that?
In a typical response, this room would be busier, but right now, as often as possible, those who need to use the emergency operations software are doing it from remote locations.
So it's about really coordinating the event. It's not like we took on all the duties and jobs, because there's a lot of people in the city working really hard right now to make sure that their divisions are running like they should be. It was more facilitating and collaborating and making sure that everything was being done in a thoughtful process.
If there was a natural disaster, live assessment damage videos could be sent to this room, or they could use interactive maps to help find the closest fire hydrant if others had been damaged. And while responding to incidents is a big part of what goes on here, it's just as much about being prepared for what might come their way.
We've kept it up and we've kept it running because what if? What if we're in COVID-19 and all of a sudden we have a thunderstorm that comes in, or a tornado that we have to deal with? We're already set up and we're ready to go to be able to deal with that.
For North Metro TV News, Danica Peterson reporting.
One of the things the EOC staff are working on is how to stage a re-implementation of normal operations and what phases would be necessary at a city level.